Welcome everybody to the next episode of KapVista Klips. Today I have the team with me from Tell Me Baby. How are you guys?
Yeah, well, thanks.
Hey.
Awesome. Excited to chat because I know, offline we've been discussing and there's a lot of opportunities coming up, but, I think we'll jump straight in and sort of understand you and, how did you get into this? So tell me the story behind Tell Me Baby.
So this is Julia, I'm Matt, and Laura on the other screen. And really it's Julia's story in terms of a founder's story and an origin story of Tell Me Baby. And it was really having our first child ourselves. So.
Yeah, so when I found out I was pregnant with our first child, we were a dual income household. We wanted the best for our pregnancy and our child for when she arrived. And I really struggled with finding honest product reviews for, I wanted the best pram, I wanted the safest cot, I wanted all those types of things. And I would Google and I would find things online that were editorials, not really helpful, overseas reviews that weren't specifically targeted to me. So once I started asking my friends who had kids, they gave me the best advice. It was honest, it was genuine, it was extremely helpful. And, I wrote it down and I kept it and it was the best help. And I thought, for people who don't have kids out there, we all need someone like our parent friends giving us all this advice in a collective spot that we can access day or night during our pregnancy and once the baby arrives. And, to this day, I still use Tell Me Baby reviews to, get the best buying decision for our kids.
So we, it was back in, our daughter was born in 2015 and 2016 is when we actually started the business. So I was really looking for, a change in career path. I was KPMG and on that sort of accounting manager partner sort of pathway. And but I really had that entrepreneurial drive and that bug, and Jules really identified this as a real problem and potential solution of what we needed here, which was really the TripAdvisor for baby products. And we set out to start that. So we launched in 2016 with Tell Me Baby, and then we met Laura as kind of employee number one in the business. So we were about 6 months into the journey of Tell Me Baby, and maybe Laura, you can talk a bit about Jules and I.
Yeah, so I was working corporate side for a big publishing house, and like many people, corporate side was kind of getting a bit bored, was a bit kind of tired of the red tape, really wanted to have more of a role where I could kind of affect change. So I kind of ditched the corporate role, focused for a year on another love of mine, which was travel. So traveled Africa, which I loved, and then came back and thought, don't want to go back into corporate. So I set up my own consulting business, basically saying yes to everything. And one of those yeses was a LinkedIn message from Matt explaining that they'd built this incredible product review site for parents. They were nearly about a year in, so the site had been built. They had a real solid number of reviews and this really incredible growing community of parents all helping other parents with what to buy. So it was kind of super interesting to me, and they were at that point looking for somebody who could help them commercialize this site that they had bought. So yeah, I met Matt for a coffee and was super interested, and we've been working together, the three of us, ever since.
Awesome. So, I mean, how do you go from wanting reviews to building a tech platform and growing? What's the story there? How does that happen? Because I know from my personal experience, I've got two boys, and when we were going through it, we had the same pain points. How do you know which product is right? And especially with my first son, we had no idea about anything. We're first-time parents, no idea where to go, no idea who to speak to, and only have limited resources to leverage off. So how do you go from, okay, we're going to network with all these parents and ask for their details, into building a tech platform? Where does that come along? Where's the story there?
I think so. Jules, I guess, original journey with this and being a first-time parent was getting literal handwritten lists, right?
I got a handwritten list from one of my very good mum friends. Categories: bed, bath,
wow.
Play, all that kind of stuff. And she said, you're going to need all these items for your child. And I had no idea. I was working in the corporate world. I was an editor at a major TV network here. And, I was just thrown into this world of, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I didn't feel confident. So I got this list and it was like my Bible. It was like my baby. And I would tick things off as I bought them. And that was it.
And obviously that was a very manual way of doing things. But the great thing about technology is that it can be scaled, and really digitizing that community and that list and those reviews and that feedback from the community. So Jules and I had this moment in 2016 when we kicked this off. So we built the site from January 2016, launched in June officially, and then it was in October, I think. So we were seeing the review numbers grow over that time, but then we kicked off this rewards program, and that was really a key turning point in the business. So the rewards program, which is something that can only be done on sort of a tech platform, but it's really starting to pull the community of parents together and just getting them writing more reviews and being compensated for that piece of work that they're contributing and helping other community members. So it was really this rewards program that we did in October 2016, and that just took off. So we had sort of viral moments where people found out about the rewards program. They were sending it on to friends and word of mouth of mums, which is great. But it's this connection between the community and mums who really want to help each other with the technology side that's been, it's really enabled us to organically grow this business out and to scale it out in the Australian market. The tech side is obviously super important when it comes to our brand partners. And that's obviously where Laura's come into the business in commercializing it.
Yep.
And the technology has really evolved to support that brand side of our business and the commercialization, which is with our widgets and APIs and the ability to take our review content and not just have it on our own platform. But Laura was instrumental in making sure that we had this strategy that the review wasn't just powerful on our own website and our own platform. It had to be where those sales are occurring.
Yep.
Did you want to add to that, Laura?
Yeah, so obviously a big part of our business is ensuring that we are collecting, genuine, real reviews from actual parents who have actually, used that product. But, the power of that review, yes, it's powerful sitting on Tell Me Baby, but when you move that independent review and you put it onto a brand's key retailer site, for a brand, that's suddenly where that review becomes incredibly powerful when it comes to converting that sale. And also from a parent perspective as well, to be able to shop on an e-commerce channel and at the same time be able to read real, genuine opinions about that actual product that you're looking at is incredibly useful.
Perfect. So we understand the story, understand how the team came together, and the product in general. But putting my customer hat on, how do I, what does the platform look like for me as a user, and then what does it look like for me as a brand? Give us an overview on how that looks like.
I'll do the user side, and then maybe Laura can do the client side, the brand side. But in terms of users, so we acquire a lot of our new member sign-ups. So there's a membership program that we run, which is a rewards program. And we see a lot of parents coming to us when they're researching. So they're in those early stages of becoming a new parent, and we have a Facebook acquisition channel that we use predominantly. It's called Bump, and Bump is a pregnancy tracker, which is an email series and an email flow that we put our parents through. And it's effectively, you see a bunch of brand offers as you come into us. You'll obviously get a ton of valuable information about your new parent journey that you're sort of embarking on. We capture some key data from those users, and then they're into our members program. So we're going to nurture those users through that sequence. And our goal is really to turn them into a reviewer to help other mums. So really they're coming to us as a new parent themselves. They're learning a whole bunch along the way. They're reading all the reviews. They're working out for them what is the best product to buy. Then our goal is to transform them or convert them into our members going forward, and to get them writing reviews. So we incentivize them, we communicate with them about the rewards program and the benefits to them, and obviously the nice feeling of giving back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we find that they don't just come back to, leave reviews for their pram and their cot and things like that. They come back because, every couple of months their child is doing something different stages, infancy, toddler, and then by the time their toddler's grown up, they come back because, the market's changed, like different products, things like that have completely changed, and it's all new for them again when they go to have their second or third child. So not only are they being compensated financially, it's really nice to show them that their opinion matters. Most people have quit their job and, going on maternity leave, their income is now down to, they're a one income household. It's a really great way for them to, feel like a proper online mothers group community, which is the whole idea of why we started TMB.
Yeah, it's really parents, helping other parents.
Yeah.
And then on the client brand side, go for it, Laura.
Sure. So for brands who partner with us, we essentially sell them a review license. And as part of that review license, we collect reviews. We display those reviews on Tell Me Baby. They get to own their own product listing page on Tell Me Baby, and we populate all of the reviews that we collect for that brand on that page as well. We also, as I mentioned before, the brand gets to syndicate those reviews across their own brand platforms. They can do that via our Tell Me Baby widget, which is basically a very simple widget that they can put on their own brand site, which houses all of the Tell Me Baby reviews from the Tell Me Baby site, and they're obviously all accredited to Tell Me Baby too, to show that independent source. And for some of our clients, they can also syndicate those reviews across their key retailer sites as well. In terms of how a brand interacts with Tell Me Baby when they become a premium partner, whenever we collect a review and we publish that review on site, the brand is pinged, notified that a new review has been published. And that's actually really important, because they then have the opportunity to be able to reply back to that review as well. We know that parents want their opinion heard, and for those reviews that might not be necessarily super positive in nature, it's really important that a brand is able to jump onto that and to be able to give feedback back to that parent too. And that's also super important for those parents who then go on to read that review, to be able to see what the brand's response is.
Awesome. So continuing on from that, and you've got the corporate partners, but what milestones have you achieved, and what are some of the brands that you are working with?
So we work in Australia. We have 58 brand partners, and those brand partners are small, medium, global enterprise clients. So we really do cover a very broad spectrum of brands who are B2C brands within that baby product space. Awesome.
And you're now looking at international expansion. Tell me about that path. How are you breaking into the UK market, and then beyond that the US market?
Yeah, so a lot of the brands that we work with, so guys like Huggies, Nestle, Mattel, a lot of these guys are global brands in their own right. Obviously, they are targeting parents, and we have the same customer then when it comes to new markets. So really the need of the brand as we move into new markets and the need of the consumer are still very much the same as what we have here in Australia. So we've solved for the problem here in this market, and the replication of our model into the UK and the US is relatively straightforward. The brands exist, the consumers exist, it's the same problem. So we're in the UK market. We launched in June last year into the UK. We've built up to be at about 4,000 reviews at the moment on that platform. We've got a database of about 8,000 member parents on that platform. And we're starting to really roll out our licensed product to those brand partners in that market now. We've recently introduced a trial period for these brands to come on board and test out a review license with TMB. And that's definitely picking up traction and steam in the UK market now. Then we very much have a similar strategy when it comes to the US market. So again, targeting those same brands, leveraging the relationships that we have with those brand partners here in Australia, getting the right contacts. Say if it's for Huggies, we'll get the brand and marketing managers' contacts, get a friendly introduction into the US market, and then we'll be able to talk to those same managers there, test out TMB's products, reviews, what we have to offer, and really getting those guys onto our licensed products and paying for that.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I think just to add to that, the proof points that we have in Australia are huge when we go into new markets. So Huggies, for example, we're their key review partner. We're collecting over 90% of the reviews for them in this market. And if you go onto any of their key retailer sites and you look at their reviews, you'll see that they nearly all originated from Tell Me Baby. So, that's a great kind of leapfrog for us to be able to kind of prove ourselves out and launch new partners in new countries.
Yeah. Awesome. So, I mean, having a bit of an experience into, consumer trends and the way that we consume content, especially from an entertainment point of view, is changing rapidly. So how is that changing in the way that we shop? How is it? How are you seeing the changes, and what do you think it's going to look like in the next 5 years? The way that consumers shop. How is that changing, and how do you capitalize on that in the next 5 years?
Well, yeah, Laura and I were talking a bit about this morning.
We talk about this a lot, all of the
what's
time.
Coming up, but look, there's all sorts of new types of content when it comes to commerce, and talking about social commerce and people wanting to interact more with products in digital domains and channels. So at the moment, reviews are very much core, and they're text-based reviews that we produce at scale. So we have 92,500, I think it is, reviews in Australia at the moment. We're about to cross 100,000, and then 4,000 reviews in the UK. All of those are sort of text-based with images in behind that, and that's what we incentivize through our rewards program. But in the future state, you're getting very much into video content, and video is going to be a key piece for us when it comes to what the future and what consumers are going to be looking for, and brands when it comes to conversion of sales. So it's not just going to be a text-based review anymore. It'll be sort of video, other sort of visual content coming into it. Beyond that, then you're getting into spaces of sort of augmented reality and virtual reality, and actually starting to see those products in your own home. So we've toyed around with some of the things in this space, and there is some interesting innovation happening on e-commerce platforms like Shopify. And we see us as being potentially the right content partner that can feed those channels in the future, as we continue to build off our success with reviews and text-based reviews. But yeah, getting much more into video, AR, VR, those types of spaces are going to be what's on the product roadmap for us.
Perfect. Wow. Okay. And now let's get into the good bit that everyone wants to know about. So the raise. How much are you raising? What's it being used for? What's the offer, and what's the momentum that you've had?
Yeah. So we're seeking to raise capital of US $2.35 million. the use of funds is really towards a sales and marketing acceleration for the UK and launch into the US market. So we've been very fortunate in that the Australian business has been trading really well, and we're in sort of a nice recurring revenue model, and we're at a break-even position. So really the use of funds here is to go towards scale of this business as we go into new countries. And then beyond that, we're looking at new verticals. So the great thing about the review model and the review platform that we've built is that it's Tell Me Baby today in Australia, and that's what we've built out. But taking this Tell Me Baby into the UK, Tell Me Baby into the US, and then looking at Tell Me Kids and Tell Me Pets and other verticals that are very much aligned with what we have at Tell Me Baby now and the infrastructure that we've built up. But we're really looking to double down on that and take that out now as we scale out the opportunity. So we're looking at $2.35 million raise. A majority of that is allocated to the US market and launching of that there. So it'll be hiring salespeople and marketing around the business. The good thing about with our marketing spend is that it's very capital efficient, in that we're a platform. Obviously, we're acquiring a bunch of parents through our funnels. We can get a lot of that acquisition activity sponsored by our client partners as we go. And then we can obviously get those parents then reviewing products and turn that into future revenue streams for the business. So it's a real, sales and headcount is where we need to grow out the business. And then it's into marketing channels, which are quite traditional ones, in that it's Facebook, where we have our acquisition funnels built off that, building SEO onto the platform and getting that out there as we scale out the Tell Me Baby opportunity for the UK, US, and then getting into new verticals beyond that, which will be in the sort of 18 to 24 month roadmap for this business.
Perfect. And then in terms of the offer, what sort of momentum have you had in terms of that? Is there investor interest? And I know from the conversations we've had, there is, further interest in the US that could be, 6 to 9 months away, which is quite exciting, and we'll probably leave a pin in that. But what's the feedback that you've been getting from investors and growth partners?
Yeah,
I think,
sorry. You go, no, you go first, please.
I think our positioning. Okay, I'll go. I think our positioning within this, this area of e-commerce is really kind of making investors particularly interested. E-commerce is undoubtedly huge. It's got even bigger since obviously COVID, and more and more brands are using e-commerce now. It's now the mainstay. So to be able to convert more sales on e-commerce platforms, and if you're a solution like we are, that means that brands are able to convert better and higher, then that's super exciting to investors, and that's really the place where we are kind of playing in with Tell Me Baby.
Then just to add to that, in terms of discussions that we've been having lately, so there's some super exciting opportunities in front of us now. We're going to be talking to many of the major brands in the K-12 space over the next sort of 3 to 6 months. We've got an introductory partner there who's going to put us in front of those guys, and we're going to be able to get in and have some really robust sales conversations there really quickly as we enter the US market. And then beyond that, there's a lot of interest in what we can do as a review platform and a review solution, and how that can be a nice add-on to some other businesses that are operating in a similar K-12 space. So a review business like ours is a nice potential acquisition target for some of these other businesses in our category. And yeah, we definitely see that there's plenty of interest being piqued with our offer at the moment. So we're super excited for the next sort of 12 months of this business. We think there's a lot out there for us to go and capture.
Yeah. Perfect. I mean, it sounds amazing, and you're right in terms of the way that people are shopping. There's during COVID, the numbers in terms of people shopping on e-commerce just grew incredibly. But because people are now used to shopping online, they want to get the best reviews, the best products, and trying to find that one source that says, yes, I like this, I like that, from real users, people who have genuinely bought it, because there are a couple of the review sites for in a number of different categories that have been called out for fake reviews. So having genuine reviews from actual parents who are saying, well, this is what I've used, this is why I like it, you can have a better level of trust buying something online now. So I think you're in an incredibly strong position. Doing is great, and then having those channel partners to expand into the UK and the US is an opportunity that doesn't come across. Doesn't come across quite often. I've spoken to hundreds, if not thousands, of Australian and New Zealand startups who are trying to break into the US and the UK market, who are just having trouble because they don't have those channels that you have, which is quite exciting. But we'll leave it there, because just looking at the time, and I don't want to make the video go too long, otherwise we could talk forever. But what I'll do is I'll put the details about Tell Me Baby on the video. Anybody who's watching this who wants to get in touch with the team, you can either reach out to me directly, because I'll put my details there, or through the KapVista platform. We can make a direct introduction to the team. But it's great chatting to you guys. Thanks for jumping on and telling us about your story. And I've got I'm watching with eager eyes to see where you take this.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.